Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Joe Biggs here with Infowars.com. Now, this is going to be a follow-up report on something that I covered earlier this week on Monday. Now, Monday, I was actually sent a tweet, a picture of something that kind of really caught my eye. It was from a soldier inside of an OPSEC briefing at a military compound. Now, in this picture, it lists Hillary Clinton and David Petraeus as examples of insider security threats. Now, we both know that these two individuals have been involved in scandals regarding the mishandling of classified information. It says in an article up by the Daily Caller, a leaked Army operational security brief appears to show Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton and CIA Director David Petraeus listed as two key examples of potential insider threats. The brief marked unclassified lists service members Nidal Hasan, Chelsea Manning, Edward Snowden, and Aaron Alexis as examples of threats. During her time at the Department of State, Clinton conducted official government business via a private email address on a private email server. Now, none of these emails should have been on any kind of unclassified system, but their presence is especially concerning because of all these emails were housed on unclassified personal servers, not even supported by full-time security staff. Now, I was in the Army for 10 years. I had a security clearance. And in that time, when you go to these OPSEC briefs, which is operational security, you are told not to bring your cell phone into these classified areas, into these secure locations, which house classified material, because they don't want any of that getting out. They don't want you taking pictures. They don't want you to have any kind of recording devices that might capture conversation because of the information and the importance of that information in national security. And we've seen how careless Hillary Clinton is with it, how Director Comey of the FBI came out and laid out every reason why she broke the law, and yet nothing's being done. Meanwhile, David Petraeus had a few binders of classified information stored in a unsecured storage bin, and he had to plead to misdemeanor charges. Meanwhile, she's deleted over just tons of emails. 30,000 emails have been recovered, 19,000 which were deleted, and they are trying to recover now that are going to have damning information on that. But if I would have done something like this, if any other soldier in the military would have leaked this kind of information, they would go to Fort Leavenworth. They would have been court-martialed. They would have received UCMJ action. So I put out this report, and we titled Army Slide, found showing how Hillary Clinton is being used as this prime example. And a lot of people mocked us and said, oh, that's a fake slide. That's not real. Well, guess what? Here it is 2 days later, and the Army Times has now come out with an article. It says Army pulls training slide listing Clinton Petraeus as the examples of insider security threats. It says a PowerPoint training slide listing former Secretary of State and General Petraeus, among others, was in use for 18 months at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, before Army officials pulled it out of circulation. The image includes photos of Clinton and Petraeus along with Major Nidal Hasan, who was the guy behind the Fort Hood shooting. The slide came to the attention of the Army late Monday afternoon, the same time that I put out a video exposing this. Now, I've got a few buddies who are still in the military, and they send me pictures all the time and updates and documents and briefings of what they're hearing. And a lot of people thought that this was BS. Now, here we have the Army coming out and telling us that this is, in fact, a real slide that was being used for 18 months. And now they're going to pull Hillary Clinton's picture off of it. We know she broke the law. We know that she mishandled classified information. But I would go to jail. Other soldiers would go to jail. Other people within the government would be in jail right now. But this woman can get away with everything. And you expect her to run our country? You expect her to be the leader of the free world when she can't even handle classified information, the same kind of information that, if exposed, can cause a huge security threat for America. I hope everybody watching this right now is completely and totally pissed off, because I am. The fact that this woman could be running right now for president, and be in the lead in the polls, it's completely and totally out of control. America, wake up and stay tuned for more reports as we expose the corruption that is Hillary Clinton, the fact that she is the epitome of evil. This has been Joe Biggs with Infowars.com. Stay tuned for more reports.
Thousands of years ago, there was a basic form of chivalry. Our ancestors would hear the drums of war, giving the warriors of the tribe a chance to organize and prepare a defense. 60 years ago, when foreign air forces were approaching filled with bombs, they had drums of their own, air raid sirens. But in the 21st century, there are silent weapons for quiet war. Pathogens added to the food and water, and to the lining of plastics that destroy our vitality, turn off our hormones, and accelerate our journey towards death. I personally counter this onslaught with Anthroplex. Anthroplex is designed with known organic concentrated herbs to create the basic foundation to normal metabolic activity inside the human body. Discover why Anthroplex is turning so many heads today. It's time for us to take our bodies back into our own hands, and it starts at InfoWarsLife.com with Anthroplex.